Something changes in a woman after 40. Not overnight. Slowly, quietly, like a storm forming behind clear skies. One day she's folding laundry, scrolling through recipes, complaining about the same old routine. The next, she's in the mirror at midnight, trying on clothes she hasn't worn in 15 years, taking selfies that never make it to social media, staring at her reflection like she's trying to remember who she used to be. And you, standing in the doorway, can't even process what's happening. Because it's not just your wife acting different. It's like someone else is wearing her skin. You think it's harmless. A new haircut, a little makeup. She starts saying things like, I just need to find myself. Or, I feel like I've lost who I am. Those are the first cracks, not in her marriage but in her identity. Because for years, her reflection gave her power. Attention was her oxygen. Compliments were her currency. And now she's running out of both. This is the part nobody wants to talk about. The panic that hits when the world stops looking at her the same way. When men stop turning their heads. When compliments fade into polite smiles. When her beauty, the thing she built her worth on, starts slipping away. That's not just an aging crisis. That's an existential one. Imagine being told your entire life that your value is your desirability. That your power is in being wanted. Then, one morning, you wake up and realize the game is over, and no one told you how to live after it. That's why women over 40 start going crazy. Not because they're evil, not because they're bored, but because they were never taught how to exist without being desired. And the first thing they do is go searching for that feeling again. Not love. Validation. You'll see it in the gym selfies. The mysterious girls' nights. The sudden obsession with skincare, diet, self-care. But beneath it all is fear. The kind of fear men never truly understand. The fear of fading. And when that fear meets opportunity, the coworker who compliments her, the trainer who calls her beautiful, the ex who messages her on Facebook, the transformation begins. She's not thinking about loyalty, vows, or family. She's thinking about proof. Proof she's still wanted, still attractive, still alive. You'll catch her smiling at her phone longer than she should. You'll feel her pull away emotionally while acting more independent than ever. She'll start using words like empowerment and freedom. But those aren't growth, they're panic in disguise. The truth is brutal. A woman's midlife crisis doesn't look like a man's. He buys a car, takes up a hobby, grows a beard. She detonates her life. And the saddest part? She thinks it's liberation. But it's not. It's regression. It's her chasing the ghost of the girl she used to be, while destroying everything the woman she became ever built. You want to know what's really happening when women over 40 go crazy? They're not losing their minds. They're losing their illusion. And instead of facing it, they burn everything that reminds them of who they've become. And that, my friend, is just the beginning. It always starts small. A new wardrobe, a few girls' nights, a sudden obsession with taking care of herself, as if she's trying to impress someone who isn't you. You brush it off. You tell yourself, she deserves to feel good. But deep down, something feels off. There's a new energy around her. One you haven't felt in years. That's how the descent begins. She starts hanging out with a different crowd. Divorced women, empowered friends who talk about freedom like it's a religion. They sit around with wine, laughing about how they found themselves after leaving their husbands. What they don't tell her is how they cry themselves to sleep at night, scrolling through dating apps full of strangers who only want one thing. But she doesn't see that part. She sees the smiles, the wine glasses, the fake joy, and something in her brain lights up. It's not logic. It's chemistry, dopamine, validation, the oldest drug in the world. She starts talking differently. You hear words like, I just need space, or I've changed. The same woman who once couldn't go a day without your attention now looks bored when you talk. The same woman who swore she'd never lie suddenly has a password on her phone. You notice the selfies, the gym sessions that take twice as long, the random compliments she gets online that she pretends not to care about. But you can see it in her eyes. Every, you look amazing, hits her like a shot of adrenaline. This is what nobody warns men about, that when a woman's beauty starts fading, Her need for external validation explodes. Because for her, attention isn't just attention. It's proof she still matters. And when that proof comes from other men, your years of loyalty can't compete. You're safe. You're predictable. You're the man she's already won. But that stranger at the gym? He's the challenge. He's the new mirror that reflects who she used to be. You'll start noticing little rewrites of history. I've never really been happy. You never understood me. This isn't who I am anymore. She's not remembering the past. She's reprogramming it. Because if she admits she's breaking something good, she'll have to face the truth. That this isn't about you. It's about her fear. Her fear of being invisible. Social media makes it worse. Every swipe, every scroll feeds the same fantasy. Middle-aged women reinventing themselves, glowing with new beginnings. Nobody shows the aftermath. Nobody posts the pictures 6 months later, the empty apartment, the awkward dates, the kids who stopped calling. The world tells her, you deserve better. But what it really means is, you deserve attention. That's the modern lie. That destruction equals liberation. That walking away from stability is finding yourself. That abandoning everything real for a dopamine rush is brave. But here's the truth. She's not becoming free. She's becoming addicted. Addicted to the illusion that she can outsmart time. And the saddest part? You'll try to save her. You'll tell her she's beautiful, that you love her, that you'll work on things. But none of it will matter. Because your love is comfort, and she's chasing chaos. By the time you realize it, she's already halfway gone. Emotionally checked out, spiritually elsewhere, physically present only out of guilt. And you'll stand there, wondering how the woman who once cried in your arms could now look at you like a stranger. But she's not the same. And that's the truth men don't want to face. That sometimes the person you built your life with dies before they're gone. By the time it happens, it's already too late. The distance you feel isn't imagined, it's engineered. She doesn't want to fix things anymore. She wants to feel something. You'll notice it in her silence. In the way she looks through you instead of at you. In the late-night texts that she hides under the table, the sudden girls' trips. The gym sessions that end later and later. You'll sense it before you ever see it. That subtle shift from I love you to I miss who I was. That's the moment she crosses the line. Not physically at first, but emotionally. She finds a man who reminds her she still has power. A coworker, a trainer, a stranger online, it doesn't matter. What matters is that for the first time in years, she feels seen. Not as a wife, not as a mother, but as a woman. It's intoxicating. It rewires her brain. You could be standing in the same room, offering her your loyalty, your years, your devotion, and it won't touch her. Because your love feels like history, and his attention feels like possibility. You'll ask her if something's wrong, and she'll say, no, I just need space. You'll try to reconnect, and she'll accuse you of smothering her. You'll tell her you love her, and she'll roll her eyes, because deep down she's already gone. What's cruel is how she makes you doubt yourself along the way. She'll tell you that you're paranoid, that you're insecure, that you've changed, and you'll believe her, because you can't imagine she's capable of this. But she is. And she'll justify every step of the betrayal as self-discovery. Here's the dark truth. When women over 40 go crazy, they don't do it impulsively. They plan it emotionally. They build a story in their minds where they're the victim, where you're the obstacle, where their destruction becomes a form of freedom. They'll rewrite the entire history of your marriage to fit the new narrative. You were never attentive. You were never romantic. You never understood her. All the anniversaries, the late nights you stayed up with her, the sacrifices erased in one sentence. I was never truly happy. And that's the part that breaks men. Not the betrayal itself, but the gaslighting that follows. You start questioning every memory, every moment, wondering if it was all an illusion. But it wasn't. You were real. The love was real. She just outgrew the truth and replaced it with fantasy. And when she finally crosses that line, when she sleeps with someone else, she'll convince herself it was inevitable, that you pushed her away, that she deserved to feel alive again, that it's not cheating, it's healing. But what she's really doing is chasing her fading reflection through other men's eyes. She's not searching for love. She's running from mortality. You'll see it when she finally tells you, "I'm not happy." You'll think you can fix it. You'll think you can fight for her. But she's not fighting for love anymore. She's fighting for youth, for validation, for that spark she lost years ago. And no man can compete with time, because this isn't a war between you and another man. It's a war between her and the mirror. And you're just collateral damage in her battle against aging, invisibility, and the truth that no amount of attention will ever fill the void she carries now. The saddest part? She'll destroy everything. Her marriage, her family, her peace, just to prove she still has the power to be desired. And when the smoke clears, when the thrill dies, when the new man treats her like everyone else eventually does, she'll realize too late, the problem was never you. The problem was the reflection she couldn't accept. And then comes the silence. Not the angry silence of an argument, the hollow silence of finality. The kind where even the walls seem to understand that something irreversible has happened. You stop asking questions. She stops pretending to answer. The war is over, but the wreckage remains. You look at her across the dinner table and realize, she's no longer your wife. She's an echo of the woman you once knew, chasing the ghost of a girl she can never be again. And what hurts most isn't that she left. It's that she left while still standing in front of you. This is the tragedy nobody talks about. The woman who destroys everything not out of hate, but out of panic. She's not running from you, she's running from time, from the mirror, from the terrifying thought that her best days are behind her. You see, women at 40 don't go crazy because of men. They go crazy because they built their entire self-worth on something that time was always going to take away. Beauty, attention, desirability. And when that currency expires, they'll do anything to feel rich again. Even if it means burning down their own house. So she does, piece by piece. The loyalty, the family, the history, all gone in her desperate attempt to prove she's still got it. She mistakes destruction for transformation, chaos for freedom, and loneliness for independence. And when it's all over, when she's sitting alone in that perfectly decorated apartment, drinking wine and scrolling through old photos, it hits her. The truth she spent years running from. That it wasn't the wrinkles that made her invisible. It was her emptiness. You can almost feel sorry for her, almost. But sympathy fades fast when you realize what she destroyed to feed her ego. The husband who loved her when no one else looked. The children who now split their time between two homes that don't feel whole. The stability that took decades to build. All gone because she needed one more compliment, one more thrill, one more moment of being the center of someone's attention. They call it a midlife awakening. But there's nothing awakened about it. It's just panic dressed as empowerment. And yet, society applauds her. Good for you. She's living her truth. She deserves to be happy. Nobody talks about the truth, that happiness built on destruction never lasts. That the women who find themselves at 40 often spend the next decade trying to glue the pieces back together. But by then, it's too late. Because the thing she was running from, time, always wins. The men move on. The children grow up. The validation fades. And she's left with nothing but her reflection. And the haunting knowledge that she traded everything real for a fleeting feeling that's already gone. That's the real madness. Not the anger. Not the rebellion. The real insanity is thinking you can outsmart biology, escape age, and rebuild meaning from ashes. In the end, every woman who destroys her life at 40 learns the same brutal truth. The problem wasn't the husband. It wasn't the marriage. It wasn't the routine. It was the mirror. And no matter how far she runs, she'll always end up right back there. Staring at her own reflection, asking a question no compliment can answer. Who am I now that no one's watching?